Welcome back to another episode of Cobra Kai Kompanion. I'm Peter,
I'm Brianna.
and today we are joined a fan favorite, a companion favorite, if you will, Owen Morgan, who plays Bert. Hey, Owen.
Hi, how are you? It's good to be
Hey,
back.
yeah.
Hello.
I think between you and Gianni, you guys are both like frequent collaborators with us, and
Yeah.
also one of the few cast members we've actually met in person. Um, so we haven't spoken to you, yeah, definitely since season 3 has aired. We definitely did a lot of things with you in the off season. You probably saw me tag you recently. Somebody was watching like the improv video again.
All right.
Yeah, had a lot of fun. But what has it been like for you from being Bert on Cobra Kai on YouTube to Bert being on Cobra Kai on Netflix?
Yeah, it's really cool. I get recognized more now. I've definitely seen a lot more I don't know, popularity, which was totally deserved. This show is awesome, and it is really weird to see yourself on Netflix and stuff like that. It's really cool.
How's your star meter on IMDb doing? Are you keeping an eye on that?
Not as of recently, but last I checked, it was doing pretty good.
Awesome.
Now, before you guys started filming season 3, we coordinated a meetup during Dragon Con. That's where Brianna and I had an opportunity to meet you and a bunch of the other castmates. After going back to film for season 3, did you guys ever kind of bring that back up, the meetup, or maybe hearing each other's interviews or anything like that on our show?
Well, I definitely listen to most of the interviews that are done here. We didn't really bring up the meetup that much because we'd already spent a bunch of time around each other. So, but yeah, I definitely tune into most of these interviews.
I know you're on most of the live streams because you're a moderator on our
Yeah,
channel and a moderator on Drew's channel, and I think you're a moderator on. Are you a moderator on Shamoon's too?
I might be. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Um, so I'm just sitting here and I'm looking at you and I'm trying to reconcile you with that tiny little guy that we met. Um, you're driving
I
now.
am. I am
Yes?
driving now.
Oh my God. And braces, those are new.
Yep, braces.
When did you get those?
Mid last year.
Oh wow. You need to
I
stop
wonder
growing up.
if Well, I wonder if Bert's gonna have him because Sensei Lawrence can take care of that like he did with Miguel's in season 1.
Yeah, maybe.
Magically disappearing braces from one day to the
Right.
next.
They just.
Yeah. Let me see. Gosh, well, I thought Brianna was gonna ask a question, but
I did. I asked about the braces.
I thought that was still kind of like that small talk.
Yeah, I
Okay,
was supposed to say
so
small talk.
you mentioned kind of being recognized a little bit more. Where are some places people are seeing you? Because some of the interviews, people are like, oh, I've had a mask on. So, like Dana Dude, he's all like, the one time Cobra Kai like gets this popular and I gotta walk around with a mask. But I saw recently, Erin Bradley Danger, who plays Counselor Blatt, she was recognized even with a mask on out in the Atlanta area.
Right. So it hasn't happened that often for me. I have noticed it's gotten a little more frequent. My family runs like a karate business, and I have noticed like I've gotten a good few more people coming up to me asking to like have pictures and stuff like that. So it definitely happens there the most often. But I think it happened once or twice at Dragon Con last year. It's yeah. I've definitely gotten an increase in recognizability.
Just to piggyback on that real quick, for anyone that maybe missed our episode on the audio podcast where we discussed the meetup and visiting the set, um, Cobra Kai mom Mandy, she was having you and Nate go around taking photos with people wearing like Cobra Kai gear. I
That's
wonder if
right.
those people look back at those photos from Dragon Con and be like, "Oh man, that was
Yeah,
that was
I'm
the
curious. Yeah,
boys."
I actually forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's actually, I actually wonder about that.
right.
Yeah, that'd be pretty interesting.
That would be funny. I mean, for me to like be a casual viewer and not recognize some of the actors and get a photo, and then to go back and realize like, oh man, that was really them.
Right. It's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was actually cracking me up when we were in line for the panel with Ralph and Billy and Marty
Mm,
that morning. You and Cameron and who else was there? Um,
a few other people.
Kev, who plays Kev,
Mm,
Connor,
Oh, Connor.
Connor.
all standing there in line, and nobody was talking to you. It's like
No one said a word.
you don't even realize who you're standing next to. So that's probably not going to happen. You came back on Saturday afternoon at Dragon Con last year and walked around and did the whole nerd out kind of thing on your own. Do you think that's going to happen next time, or are you going to
I
not
don't
be
know.
able to do that?
I don't know. I think there's a chance I could get recognized a couple times. I doubt it's gonna be like that's how I spend my entire experience. Um,
Hey, maybe they'll
yeah,
stick you on
I
a
think,
panel.
yeah, I don't think we're quite there yet, but maybe someday.
We'll see. I mean, you'd be surprised. I mean,
That's true.
I wonder if it's like different for you guys because this is your guys' show. For us, we're part of the fandom, so we operate a little bit differently. So I think you guys are going to be a lot easier to spot, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult for you to kind of enjoy things as a fan,
Right.
and blend in a little bit. That's what I think. I'm thinking it back to like Owen, you just joined me last week for the fundraising event on Cobra Kai
Yep.
Theory. And if you remember, in the chat room, everyone they were asking
Oh
for
yeah,
you
it
to
was
do
just
things.
it was full.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I was reading it basically the entire time.
Yeah. A lot of Owen fans amongst like,
And there were a
the
lot.
Karate Kid actors. Yeah. The OG actors, and everyone wanted Bert to do the dab or,
Right, that was so weird.
yeah. Well, they're looking at you because, they're probably more familiar with the show Cobra Kai. And so, yeah, they
Right.
were just, hoping you'd do something. But I threw it out there. Hey, throw in some donations and maybe Owen would do something.
Yeah.
I asked a question. Speaking of your family's business, somebody
Mhm.
noticed that the van that Johnny is standing on at the junkyard, which happens to be one of your old ones, has an eagle on it. And I was wondering if the All Star Karate logo is the eagle.
Wait, you said this was the junkyard?
Yeah, at the junkyard. Did you not know that? The van he's standing on says All Star Karate down the side. Is that not one of
Oh,
yours?
does it?
Is that not one of
I
yours?
never noticed that. I never
I,
noticed that. I
yeah.
don't think it was ours. We don't have an eagle logo.
Oh
I thought
wow.
it was a coincidence.
I think that's just a pure coincidence.
Oh wow.
I
Okay.
never picked up on that.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, because I asked your mom about it and I never got a reply, so I was kind of wondering.
Oh, huh.
Yeah, because there's an eagle on it, and they're like, "Ooh, maybe that was foreshadowing." And I'm like, I don't know about
Oh,
that.
if only.
but
If
yeah,
only it was foreshadowing.
right.
That would have been really forward thinking on their part.
Yeah, honestly.
Like really.
Right. Yeah,
Like,
like 4 years.
thinking way ahead.
Yeah, literally 2 seasons ahead.
So, in your actual karate practice, your real life practice, what belt have you achieved at this point?
I got black belt 2 summers ago.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
Impressive.
So you're one of the most knowledgeable kids on the set, but your character is the one that gets his butt kicked repeatedly.
Pretty much.
Okay.
So little guys are there to get picked on.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I want to see you come back. If there's another tournament arc, I want to see you come back and just kick Flippy Guy's butt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Revenge
speaking of season 3, so when you go back after our meetup, it's pretty much like camp or school. Like, what was it like to kind of see everybody again?
Yeah, no, it's basically it's really cool. It's basically just like meeting up with all of your friends again and just getting to hang out
Yeah,
for hours. I don't know.
sounds like a lot of fun.
It really is. It really is. It doesn't ever feel like there's any like stress or anything like that. It's basically just everyone having fun.
Oh wow, that sounds like the job to have. Just show up,
It's a
hang out
great
with your
job.
friends.
It's a great
and-
job.
Yeah, get paid.
Yep,
Right.
you get paid.
That's awesome. How many of the because you actually did, well, Bert anyway, did some pretty impressive stuff in season 3, including flying through a window. I do have to ask, that was not you? No?
No, that wasn't me.
So
I wanted to do it, but I kind of get why they wouldn't.
you wanted to fly through the window.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't? But
Right.
but yeah, I mean, it was pretty obvious why they wouldn't want me to actually fly through the window.
Right.
It's pretty dangerous, and all of the younger cast members that we've spoken with, including Hannah, like everybody says that they want to do their own stunts.
Right.
I'd imagine that you were there on that day as well. Do you have any knowledge how they rigged that up, the window and all that? Because I know you have you have a stunt woman as your double.
Yeah, I've had a few. It
Oh,
kind of changes out.
okay.
I've had like a couple per season.
Mm,
Yeah, so the whole system, I'm not sure exactly how they did the window, but I'm guessing based on how they've done it with other glass breaking parts, it's like some kind of destructible glass that they can like break remotely, and they just have to time it perfectly.
like squibs or
As
something to set off
Yeah,
the
I'm
glass.
not sure exactly how it works, but I think that they like kind of control something that makes it break as soon as contact is being made.
Mm.
Um, yeah, so I wasn't exactly there to see when it happened, but I did have my mom was for like recording it so I could see it happening. So that was
Nice.
pretty cool.
One of the things we've talked to, or Peter has talked to Frank Helmer a couple of times about costuming, and that Miyagi Do is in blue and Cobra Kai is in red and things. And I
Right.
noticed going through season 3 that there were a few times, especially right at the very beginning, when Bert was already wearing blue, like your backpack was blue on the first day of school. And did he explain that to you, or did you just
Nope.
show up and because there were a lot of times you guys were wearing purple or you were already wearing blue, so it's
Right. It
like,
took me a while to pick up on the costume choices. I hadn't really noticed it
Mhm.
ever until I think it was after we had filmed season 3. I had seen people talking about that kind of stuff, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Um,
it's funny because we had Gianni on as a guest host for one of our Off Valley Trivia Championships,
right.
and it was then when it was Brianna brought up to Gianni like, hey, you're wearing blue when Ralph wears blue, and so that was kind of a question, and right there live, I shot a text to Frank, and he explained it. So everyone's kind of been like looking at the costuming since then. So
Keeping
yeah,
close attention.
yeah, we'll
yes.
definitely have to talk to Frank again, but maybe as a costume designer, he himself is telling a story with the costume too, and maybe he just doesn't share it with the cast.
Yeah, maybe.
Mhm.
I'd say that seems likely.
Yeah.
So how satisfied were you with I mean, Bert went through the ringer this season.
Mm,
It started out, as the badass and confronting his friends in the hallway, and then the whole I hate Crease moment with poor Clarence.
oh,
Um
rest in peace.
oh God, the look on your face. I'm like, I just want to hug him. Oh
Oh,
my God.
thank you.
Um, and then back to the bro shaking with Nate, and hey, the bro shoulder and all that stuff.
Right.
So, how satisfied are you with Bert's story arc in season 3 from bad guy to good guy? I guess you'd say in quotes there.
Right. I guess in the black and white sense it was bad guy to good guy, kind of a slow morph. Beginning of the season, I'm all Cobra Kai, and then I'm gone for a good chunk of it, and then I switch to Eagle Fang, and then the end. So I do a lot of switching around this season. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with everything I got to do.
Can you so we talked, or you talked a little bit about the Clarence sequence during the live stream for the
Yes.
fundraiser. Can you talk about it again a little bit, and maybe just that day of shooting, or how many days did it take? Did it take more than
Oh, we
one?
only we only shot that scene in
Once.
one day. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
we filmed multiple parts of that scene in one day. It was it wasn't crazy hard, but yes, they brought in a little. I'm pretty sure it's a hamster.
Oh,
I think his name was Lil Chubbs. I think that's like his actual name.
so he's like Stingray's hamster, or
I don't know. He is a
Little Chubbs?
hamster.
Little
That-
Chubbs. I like that.
Yeah, I think that was the name. I could be
Also
wrong.
mouse.
I'm pretty sure. That I think the name was Little Chubbs. And
Okay.
so before I went on to set, they brought him over to my trailer so we could, get to know each other a little bit.
Oh, was he
Uh,
nice?
Yes, he's very sweet. But he's constantly nervous, which is understandable when you're
Yeah.
on a film set. So he did a lot of defecating
Okay.
in the middle of takes.
You
So
know, I probably would
fortunately,
too.
I
if was
guess
on
I have a
camera.
really calming presence because he never did it to me. But as soon as I do my part where Kreese takes him from me and he kind of like holds him a bit, there were a lot of takes where you just start seeing like poop running down his arm, but he would stay in character the entire time, not break once.
Nice.
And I'll give him that, like he'd have pee and poop all over his gi and stuff, and I'd be trying so hard not to break, and he wouldn't bat an eye, and I love that. It was really good.
That's pretty good.
I can't
Uh,
even imagine Marty Cove scaring a small animal into pooping.
I know.
mean,
I know.
He's just that good at getting into character.
Yeah.
wow.
Did Jacob ad lib the Hawk Jr.?
I don't believe so. I'm pretty sure that was in the script.
Oh, okay. Interesting. It just the way he delivered it almost seemed like it was ad libbed. Like
Really?
just kind of thrown in a little bit. I don't know. Maybe
It's
it was
supposed to
just
be
me.
like a little throw-in line.
Yeah. Were there different takes on? Was it always Clarence? Did you guys come up with the name?
Oh
on the
yeah, it was
spot?
always Clarence
Interesting.
from the very beginning.
Yeah, because Joe and Luan wrote that episode, and I was speaking with
Mhm.
Luan last September. He mentioned that he was a big fan of Coming to America, and that was an inspiration for Johnny's dating scene. Also, in Coming to America, there's a Mr. Clarence that's part of the barbershop trio. So I don't know if it's Clarence Boddicker from RoboCop or Clarence from Mr. Clarence from Coming to America, or is it just random? I always
It could be
wonder.
random. I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm very fascinated with names. Brianna, did you have something before we move on from Clarence?
No, that was all about Clarence. I mean, he did answer a question that I had, was whether he was a hamster or a guinea pig or a mouse or a rat.
I'm pretty sure he's a hamster.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's a hamster.
I thought he was a little too chubby to be a mouse.
Yeah.
Because he was super, super chubby. And he didn't have a
I
tail.
was listening to your latest podcast, and I was hearing that little debate, and I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not a mouse.
Yeah, he didn't have a tail.
Yeah.
Did he?
No, I don't believe he had a tail.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you ever listen to that stuff and just slap yourself in the forehead and be like, man, they are so far off? Or
They're so dumb.
not just specifically us, but just like even watching YouTube clips of other people say things.
Oh, it's pretty funny. I like to stay pretty active in the fan base so I can hear people's ideas and theories and laugh at them.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Why aren't you doing something like that? Putting like a audio, like a YouTube channel yourself, just to kind of.
I've considered it. I don't know
Yeah.
what I'd do.
Yeah,
It sounds like it would be fun, but
I think so too. Like, just to hear you for like 30 minutes or an hour, just to hey, I came across this. Maybe drop no names, but just to hear your thoughts.
right. I just have a YouTube channel just for like Cobra Kai hot takes.
Yeah.
Well, there would be this issue of Bert shooting down, season 4 theories, that whole NDA thing.
Well, he would just leave the season 4 stuff alone. Only talk about the stuff that's already out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So returning back to the school, one of the sad moments for me to see you was sitting at the loser table.
Right.
Oh, what was that day like?
For one thing, I didn't even realize that they had like such a central take on our losers table. I didn't realize that they had the camera focused on us for that long. I thought it was a little more of like a quick moment, but then when I watched the show and I realized that they had it on us for a good couple seconds, I was like, oh wow, okay, I probably would have done that a little bit better.
No, I thought it was fine. It was very subtle. It's kind of like Yeah.
Right. It's just like,
Look,
hey,
you see
that's
me, I'm sitting here. Yes.
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
all sad now because no one likes me now.
That's
Well,
not
I
true.
mean, you know,
In,
Chris
in this world,
and
if you're not part of a dojo, you're nothing.
No, yeah.
yeah, because
Regular student.
you had Sean over there with you, and Chris would end up there later in the season, and you know, you guys just have your own little table. I know you just,
Yeah.
you know,
We got a little quiet table.
yeah. And it actually it parallels where Eli and Dimitri were sitting with Miguel in season 1 because they were the loser table.
That's right. Forgot about
So
that.
Hmm.
yeah, now's your chance to redeem yourself and become the non-loser table, right?
Hey.
There you go.
I don't think Bert had like any interactions with Yasmin in season one. So I don't
No.
know if you got to interact with Anna Lisa very much during filming.
Yeah, I got to see her a little bit around. Right, we didn't really have any scenes together before season 3.
Mhm.
So I never met her before then. But
Mhm.
yeah, she is so nice. She's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you had that scene. You weren't in it with. Well, you were in it with her, but like you were walking away as she was walking in, and then Nate
Right.
had the line where he called her front wedgie as he walked through the door,
I remember
which I
that.
thought was hilarious because Nate wasn't even at the party.
Right. He
So
just knows.
right, like everyone knows.
That's just her thing now, and I love that.
I like they did kind of like a very subtle makeover with her to, you know, they like softened her hair and softened her clothes a little bit.
That's true. I think they leaned away a little bit from the stereotypical mean girl thing.
Right, right. So what did you think with your not necessarily makeover, but your new costuming for season 3 with the Eagle Fang, which is the dumbest name for a dojo ever. Just gotta say.
That's what my mom was saying for like a year.
The EU thing was the dumbest
We
thing.
would like literally even after like we would finish filming the season and we'd just be waiting for the scenes to come out. We'd just be like driving some days and then she just kind of laugh and just be like, Eagle Fang is such a dumb name.
Yeah.
Uh, and it was yeah, and I mean that's why it's so good. That's
Right.
why it's so funny because it's such a Johnny thing to name the dojo. It makes sense, but it's also so bad. But I love it, and I also think the logo is pretty cool too. It looks cool. It doesn't make sense, but it looks cool.
No, you're absolutely you nailed it with that. It looks cool, and with
Oh, Peter, we lost you.
Uh-oh.
Netflix, obviously a lot more
Okay,
people
there you
have
are.
seen it, and
Okay.
I've always told like,
You were gone. You
oh,
need to re-ask that one.
oh, okay, weird.
You completely
Yeah.
froze.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll ask again. Or basically, I was just setting up the fact that Cobra Kai is now on Netflix, so a lot more people have seen it.
Right.
But I think a lot of people, yeah, you have those friends that you've told, like, hey, you should watch Cobra Kai, but you don't really know, like, all your friends on Facebook who's actually watching it because not a lot of people just like post randomly, oh, I'm watching Cobra Kai. So when I went to go get my first COVID shot, I was wearing the Eagle Fang shirt, and most of my comments were about the shirt, not even about the shot. Like nobody was asking me about the COVID shot. Like, oh,
Nice.
cool shirt, where'd you get it? Or they'll be like Eagle Fang, So everyone would just comment on the shirt. That's how insane it got. That
Right.
people were just reacting to the shirt instead of what was actually happening in the
It's
photo.
become a phenomenon.
Yeah, it really has.
So
It's a memorable name. It'll stick in there.
it is,
Mongoose is cool too.
but I have to admit that I am 100% with Bert. It really should have been Mongoose.
It should. I mean, it's factually correct.
Exactly. The only animal that can kill a king cobra is a mongoose.
Yeah.
And anyone who's seen Ricky Tikki Tavi with his glowing red eyes knows that they're kind of badass, right?
You can't read about mongooses in like WebMD,
Web'emed?
Right.
yeah,
Webumed.
WebMD.
Why would they be talking about mongooses on a medical website?
That's the only time he's looked up anything on the internet in season 3,
That's
Oh,
true.
that's true. That's true.
unless it was on Facebook. But so there's that park scene, right, where you guys don't need a dojo to be a dojo, the
Right.
t-shirts and all that. Can you talk about that scene? If there was like any other takes that I don't know who directed episode 8. We haven't gotten there yet,
Right.
but anyway, yeah. If you can remember like any takes that you guys had to do.
I don't think there was anything that that didn't end up in the final cut for that scene, at least. Yeah, no, everything was basically the same each take.
Okay.
I think they just grabbed the funniest one.
So the big confrontation there in the park, where the two dojos, what did that, like, the setup for that? Because 2 episodes before, these people were all your friends, and now they're up in your
Right.
face threatening you. So what was the setup for that scene like?
I'm not exactly sure. It's I mean, yeah, it was really cool that we still got to have everyone back. Like, I didn't get to see all of them when I did my clearance scene episode 2. Not everyone was there, but at this point, basically all the main Cobras were. So that was cool. I think that was my first time seeing most of them that season.
Because Peyton was in Australia when you were filming season 2. She filmed her stuff when she got back, so she
Right.
wasn't there for Clarence.
Right. So I yeah. So yeah. So it was really cool to get to see everyone again before we got to some more interesting collisions.
Right.
So we have the finale of season 3. Unless Brianna, you could think of any other sequences you want to ask Owen before we
Nope,
move on to that.
I've been holding back from asking about that finale the whole time. We got to get to it.
Yeah. So anything you can remember about like the discussion with all of the the kids at the table about their senseis working together, all of that stuff before the actual fight. What about when you and Nate mouthed off to each other? Was there different takes or different dialogue?
We had one take where they had us say something way worse, but I can't remember what it was.
What was it? If you died, I wouldn't come to your funeral. Isn't that what Nate
no,
said?
there was something that was supposed to be like way darker.
Oh wow!
And I can't remember what it was. It's like
for the both of you.
Yes. We had one take where they were like, "All right, try saying this instead," and it was something way darker and way funnier. They didn't end up using it.
Interesting.
It was something about like wishing death upon you would be an understatement or something like that.
See, I love that. I love that the little guys are the ones that are like super dark with their hate, and we never actually saw them interact as friends before this started.
Right.
Other than being the two littlest guys in the dojo.
That's what makes it so funny, just the fact that we have zero context.
Right. Oh yeah, that's what Michael
says. Our own
says.
thing going behind the scenes, and then every once in a while we'll show up with our own little thing.
I mean, you've heard what Michael says about Nate and Bert, or Nathaniel and Bert, right?
Right.
It's just like these little guys are always jawing at each other, and we don't know the reason for it, but it's funny. I thought it was hilarious, and we haven't spoken with Nate yet. We will very soon, and I think when I spoke to him for the very first time, he almost talked about that scene, and his mom had to be like, "Oh no, that's season 3."
Oh really?
Yeah, he was getting ready. Well, because he was. Yeah, he was getting ready to say something, and I was just like, "Well, that doesn't sound like." And
just like, this sounds like I remember.
Yeah. He was like, "Oh, it's the part where we started saying something, and then like, yeah, Hannah jumped in. I was like, "Oh no, Peter, sorry, that was season 3."
Oh, that's good.
I was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh no.
So
that's what momagers are for. No, don't say that.
Yeah. So again, you said that you've seen a lot of the interviews. You've probably seen some of the writers. I'm not going to name anybody, but some of the writers have even given us spoilers without knowing it at the moment. So
really,
it happens. Well, I mean, season 3, you guys filmed so long ago, so
that's true.
You guys forget.
I think that's why at some point it started to get harder to keep stuff away, just because it had been so long. It just kind of felt like it should be out there by now.
Exactly.
So
like
it felt it just. We had gotten used to the past couple of seasons, like not long after we'd be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
But this time we had to wait a year.
Yeah. So let's talk about that as we get ready to wrap up the awesome fight scene that is inside the LaRusso house. We've been in it. We know how small it is. Can you talk about like navigating around that fight and how difficult it
Right, yeah,
was?
because it's a really tight space. So there were, I'm sure it's been said before, but there were a lot of moving parts to it behind the camera. There was a lot of, I remember someone saying that they had to like hold up a table whenever
Yeah.
the thing came by. There was a lot of switching around with stunt doubles. Um, I think there was one point where Nate and I had to like, as soon as the camera turned around, we had to like run through one of the back doors as our stunt doubles came through it so that they could switch out and get thrown into the Christmas tree.
That's what I was about to ask. Was that you guys sliding into the tree like?
Yeah, no, I wanted that to be me. I was like, that's not even gonna hurt that bad. But
Yeah.
It's a
but they had
Christmas
that.
tree.
They
Those
had,
fall on people all the time.
yeah,
That's how good you guys were because I thought that was actually you and Nate sliding
Right.
into being thrown into the
yeah.
tree.
So that was our stunt doubles. But right before that, that was all us. So like the whole hallway bit, where we're going down there. Nate's getting his face slammed into the window. Johnny's picking
Yeah.
me up and flinging me into other people. That was all us.
Yeah, that's awesome.
See, and that's the advantage of being the little guy. On top of being able to kick ass yourself, you're other people's
Right.
weapon, right?
Exactly. Makes for some good team up attacks.
Right.
You know, it's kind of like the video game. You know, you can pick
Exactly.
up things and use it as a weapon. Have you played the game?
Not all the way.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm
but
not
you
very
played
good
it
at
at
it.
least.
I'm not very good at it.
Neither am I.
Oh
Neither
God,
am
I'm
I.
horrible. I
I
use
didn't make it very
Dimitri
far.
most of the time because his arms are so long, so you just stand back and smack people in the head. Because Gianni's arms are like 17 feet long in the game.
Really?
Yeah, he's got super
Not
long
not
arms.
really, but
But it just
uh,
disproportionate limbs.
Maybe I should have picked Miyagi did then.
well, they
What?
heal faster.
Yeah, they do. Say what was the difference? What did you feel? Was there a difference in the payoff in this fight other than the school fight? You actually got to finish this one rather than getting chucked over someone's shoulder and dragged out. So
That's true. That's true. We actually got to finish our fight.
right. So did Nate and Bert win?
Yes. There was one thing that didn't end up making the final cut. I don't know if it will ever resurface at any point, so I'm not sure how much of it I should talk about.
Okay.
Okay,
but
then
Nate
don't.
Nate and I do get to fight someone and take him down.
Awesome. It's about damn
Interesting.
time.
Yeah,
Sorry, you're a
I
child.
like that.
I
No,
shouldn't
team
cuss.
up. No, we. Are you what are you, Ralph Macchio now in front of Nate?
Yeah, I'm gonna apologize every time I cuss because he's
Right.
a child.
All right. Oh man, that was a good story too.
Yes.
Now, what about the very last scene that we see of season 3? The two dojos joining forces at the very end. What was filming that like? You know, it looks like everybody, you know, it's a little reunion. Everyone's hugging it out.
Right.
You know, anything different that we
Everyone's
didn't
just making
see?
up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that was very nice. It wasn't I think we actually filmed that before the fight scene.
Mm.
So they put the scars on me first, and then I think the next couple days after, then they covered my face in blood. So it was kind of like a reversal, which I thought was pretty cool. But so the final scene that was really cool to film. I think it works a lot better with the music.
Oh yeah.
Oh God. They could have used Phil Collins, but man, that cover that they used is just
The cover was awesome.
oh,
Yeah,
it's amazing.
I think
that's some great timing.
Yeah, I think the cover was a very interesting and really good choice just because we had the Cruel Summer cover the previous season. So it's kind of in line with that. I wonder if that
Yeah.
was a choice.
We get
that
to
they
have
made.
our cool covers.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, looking forward to what 80s is going to resurface done by, and this show is really like bringing some of these smaller artists and putting them like Dorothy with Dorothy had the Kiss It in season 1. Kari Kimmel, was kind of an independent artist and they kind of rose her up and now it's like a thing with the music. But I have to ask because I'm curious. Some of you were in shorts, some of you were in hoodies. How cold was it in that backyard that day?
Pretty cold. We filmed that scene in December.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
And that's just how the weather conditions are in Georgia, and we've had that happening. We've had that kind of like clothes patterning since like season 2. So we've had some of our Miyagi Doers who have been totally miserable in the weather. So yeah, we'll have a lot of people who are in like shorts and t-shirts and stuff in the middle of winter,
Yeah.
and you'll have other people in sweatpants and hoodies that are just
That
doing
it's
fine.
it's too bad that that's just your guys' shooting schedule is that block. I mean,
Right.
obviously now is probably the most is the best weather you guys have during filming this season, this current season.
Well, except for the
Mm.
whole blizzard 2 weeks ago. Did
Oh yeah, because Amy was affected too, right?
yeah, did the snow affect you guys in your shooting schedule at all? Was there a delay or were you in the studios at the time?
When was this?
Like 2 weeks ago, it was snowing in Atlanta. Not very long, but like for a day and a
Um,
half.
yeah, I'm not sure how that would have affected anything.
Hmm.
Oh, duh. We don't even know if you were there. Okay.
Yeah.
No
Well, yeah,
spoilers. No
I guess
spoilers.
the other thing
Shut
was
up,
like
Bree.
season one, when it was snowing, they were filming it inside. So yeah, there's ways of getting around that. All right, well, yeah, again, as we get ready to wrap up, Owen, I don't know if there's anything coming up that you can promote.
Don't believe so.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, once everything starts dying down, we're done with our, episode reviews. We would love to have you come back and do more things with us.
I would love to come back on.
Sure.
So
Yeah, yeah.
Well, are there
So
things that you're working on that you can't promote?
maybe
Maybe.
you've
there
been
could be.
around, you've been around John Josh and hated too long.
Right.
There could be. There could not be.
There you
Yeah.
go. I like that answer.
Okay.
If nothing happens, then I wasn't, and if something does happen, then I did have something to promote.
There we go.
Right.
I like that. This boy's
All
going to be
right.
a politician when he grows up.
I'll follow. So for those that are tuning in, I'd imagine most of you guys are already following Owen on social media. But if you're not, I'm sure Brianna will include it in the show notes,
Yep,
in the description.
over in the
YouTube.
description.
Exactly. So Brianna, where can people find you?
Brianna25, everywhere that you possibly would want to look. Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, YouTube, Archive of Our Own, fanfiction.net, Instagram. I always forget one.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot, right? I mean, that's why we put them in the show notes. Twitter is your thing. I can be found at Cobra Kai Podcast for Instagram, where I'm also pretty active. I go live sometimes, and sometimes actors have jumped in, live with me. So there's a few things that Owen has done with me as well on Instagram Live, so you guys can check that out. He reviewed Karate Kid 2 and 3. We brought that up during that live stream event. So yeah, check that out if you want to hear his thoughts on that. So that's going to wrap it up. Thanks again, Owen. Thanks for everybody tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.